Okay, sourcing our fabric swatches. So we're going to start with how you work with swatches and things like that. When I open up WGSN, go to Women, go to Design Resources, and in Colour Libraries come down to Pantone. And so probably your best bet is to go to Colours and choose maybe the colour range you're looking for. And, you know, it might be this kind of blue. So you could click on the little 3 little dots there and choose download. Quite similar. Then maybe find another colour that's similar. Remember, colours are brighter and lighter on screen. Download. And come. So yeah, download a few different colours of a similar colour range as all the colours that you need, and they will be in your downloads. With your fabric, you might want to use a photo of some fabric. So I took this photo. It's a little bit lighter in this bottom corner here, so maybe I would just choose this part of the print to use. Image crop, and we're kind of working on squares anyway. When you copy reflect an image, it'll sort of reflect on each corner. So we could say that's our print repeat, but it's not going to be perfect because it's not geometric. So we can only cross our fingers and hope that it looks okay. The other thing we need to do is look at the size of it. So if we go image size, and this one is, you'll find with a raw photo, so a photo from your camera, the image size will be quite huge. So this is 25 meg. It's 109 centimetres high. So what you're looking for is a print. It's going to go inside your tray drawing, which is probably maximum 10 centimetres big. If it's a jacket, it's probably more like 8 centimetres. So it needs to be roughly 3 times that size if it's only 72 dpi. So I'm just going to choose the height and make it 20 centimetres. And now it's gone down to 860k. So under 1 meg, so 100k goes up to 1000, and then it starts going into meg. So 860 is good. Click OK, and so that's reduced the size of it. Still looks a little bit light in that corner, but there are different ways of lightening things, but ideally you would take a really good photograph. There's image mode adjustments, there's curves, and in curves you can lighten or darken by pulling one side, pulling down the other. You don't want it to. The other thing is, if you want to change the colour of it, the easiest way to do it is using your layers. So window, layers, and nearly everything we need to do is in our layers panel. So we click on the adjustment icon, and Hue Saturation normally does it for us. Hue Saturation is this, so hue is changing the colour. So I'm just going to sit it next to my Illustrator document that's open, that's got my colours on it, and I'm just going to use the slide to go into the right kind of family of colours. And also I'm going to brighten it up a bit. So it looks right on screen, but I probably need to brighten it up a little bit for print. I'm just going to bump up the saturation till it looks a little bit too much. And so that should be okay. What I need to do now in my layers is flatten the image. So I click on the list and I go flatten image. Generally it's a good rule to unlock the background just in case. And now I'm going to select all again. So that's Command or Control A, Command or Control C, come back to this image, Command V, paste. So I'm pasting directly from Photoshop into Illustrator. That way I don't need to change, embed my image. So there's an example of the original colourway, and this is my new colourway, which seems to fit in quite well with my colour palette. If it doesn't work out for you, go back and redo it until you get it right. You bring in your colour chips, so you go to your downloads, find your colour chips and drag them onto the document, what they look like. Then you need to select one of these boxes and use your eyedropper to copy the colour, because all the colour Pantones which you are going to use in your lookbook have this on them, which is the type, and you don't want that being part of your design. So now we need to go to so once you have all your swatches sorted out, it's a good idea to print it just to see what they look like. So that would include your Pantone colour chips, but you can put them all in these boxes and then see which one is going to print the right colour. Remember, if you're printing at Officeworks, they're probably more colour calibrated than the normal home photocopier, but if you're doing it yourself, you want it to print the right colour, so you just set it to suit your printer, in other words the hard copy. So what we have in our swatches, so you open up your swatches panel, your print file, this would be scaled to fit your garment, so that's roughly the right scale for my garments. I'm going to drag that into my swatches, and then all these other colours, these you select them all with the black selection tool, click on the list and choose new colour group. You can name the colour group and you add it to your swatches. You can delete a colour group, you can delete a swatch. So if you're not happy with the swatch, just delete it. And then, yes, save that file. Just check your links that everything that needs to be embedded is. So I've got my colour chips. So your Pantone colour chips all need to be embedded. They won't be there when you come back. And so once they're embedded on one document, you can copy paste them to other documents and they'll be embedded. Okay, so that's roughly working with your prints. The other thing with your print is you might want to use it as a clipping mask, in which case you would make a bigger shape. So you make a shape that'll go edge to edge of your garment and then put in the swatch. As you can see, it's a bit obvious where the lines are in this. I could go and edit that in Photoshop to make that black shape less obvious, but I don't think it really matters that much. It's kind of okay. But at this point, if you did want to change it, you could see where the problems were, go back into Photoshop and edit those problems. All right, we'll move on to trade sketching now.